Liberalism is not about a difference of opinion. Liberalism, like, I want you guys to understand this because you're watching Haqiqatjou. Maybe some of you are longtime fans, but liberalism is not like an okay opinion in Islam. Like, when I say liberalism, what do I really mean? People have this, they think that liberalism means like someone who is like a Muslim who listens to music. A Muslim who listens to music, this is liberalism. We need to go to war on these Muslims that are listening to music. And this is like a huge, these are the liberals. Or the Muslim women that aren't wearing hijab. These are the liberals. We have to go to war with these Muslim women that are not wearing hijab. This is a misunderstanding. Actually, this is a misunderstanding of what I mean when I say liberalism and what I have been preaching against for the past 12 years of public dawah. Someone who is listening to music or a Muslim sister who's not wearing hijab, that might be just a personal shortcoming. That might be a personal shortcoming. Maybe they're struggling with it, but they don't believe that it's haram. They don't believe that what they're doing is right or that's halal or that's permissible. They're just struggling. They're going through a struggle. They're not trying to change the deen. They're not trying to change Islam. And yes, it's not good. It's not good. And we should do islah. We should advise. We should take people privately and explain. We should understand their context. We have to do that. Like that, we have to do that to maintain our community. People are going to be at different levels of iman, and you have to have the brotherhood, or if you're a sister, the sisterhood to help your brothers and sisters and lift them up. And you lift them up by advising them, by correcting them, by maybe sometimes you just influence them in the right direction because a more direct approach might be ineffective. And you bring hikmah, you bring wisdom. That is perfect, great, excellent. And we all need to do this. We all need to do this. But that's not liberalism as I define it. That's not the big threat. That's not the big threat that we're facing. The threat that I'm calling out, I've been calling out for over 12 years in public dawah, is liberalism, the ideology that religion has to be reformed. The illiberal aspects of Islam have to be negated, or they have to be changed in order to accommodate Western values. That is a massive project. It is a massive and deadly project that has been taking place since the past 200 years with European colonialism. Colonialism was the deployment of this ideology throughout the Muslim world. And it is a bloody ideology that has been imposed by force to turn Muslims into atheists. And it is extremely dangerous. Why? Because in the past 200 years, this same project has been applied to other religious groups. It has been applied to Christians. It has been applied to Jews. It has been applied to Hindus. It has been applied to Buddhists. It's been applied to animists and Native American religions and Aboriginal religions and African religions. Pagan religions, all the world's religions have been attacked by this liberal force. And we see within all of these religions that they slowly secularize. They become more atheist. They become more atheist, not just in the fact that they are less practicing of their religious traditions and their religious rituals and their religious laws. Yes, they are not only less practicing of those laws, they have abandoned their laws. They have abandoned their traditions. They have, deleted them. Their religions have been destroyed. And that's what's happening to Islam as well. It's not that, women are, not as many women are wearing hijab, or more Muslims are listening to music, or more Muslims are engaged in like gender mixing, for example, or any number of other points that you can make. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. But if you look at Muslim history, there are different segments of time and places where Muslims are at different levels of practice. But Islam preserved Islam was preserved. It persevered. It persisted over time, despite there being like, oh, there's a lapse in the religiosity or the piety and the practice of one group of Muslims in one particular geographic location, one particular time. If that was the extent of the problem, yeah, you do islah. You go and you advise. You try to raise the level of iman and piety of yourself and others around you. And the ummah will survive. The ummah will survive in the future, inshallah. But that's not the problem. The problem is that liberalization is destroying the religious values, the religious laws. It's one thing, I keep going to a hijab example because it's very common. It's one thing to say that, okay, I have my own personal struggles and therefore I'm not going to wear hijab. I have my own challenges and I'm on a journey. Some people, yeah, we make fun of that sometimes, but that in itself is not good. It's not good. And but we have to encourage those Muslim sisters to do better. Fine. But put that on one side. On the other side is a person that you might not even call a Muslim at that point who says, actually, it's my body, my choice. And I want to be equal to men, and it's my choice. I decide if I want to cover my hair or not. I don't care what God says. I don't care what Islam says. I don't care what the Quran says. I don't care what the Prophet ﷺ says. I make my decisions as my body, my choice. Do you see the difference? The second thing is kufr. The second thing is a deletion of Islam and the Sharia and the requirements of God. The first scenario is like a personal failing. It's like a personal challenge, a personal sin. And there's a lot of hope for that person that they will turn around and they'll make tawbah. Do you see the difference? The liberalism of the second example, that's liberalism. That's the dangerous cancer because it's erasing Islam. When you say my body, my choice, that's erasing Islam. That's going completely contrary to the message of Islam, which says, no, your body belongs to Allah. Your body is a amana given to you by Allah. Allah decides what happens to your body. And when he commands you, you obey. And if you don't obey, then you are sinful and ask for forgiveness and make tawbah.